What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Now this comes from Carmen JC. Shout out to her. You know, she really be putting in that work and giving her opinion on the state of Black culture, Black women, the community. She speaks on political issues as well. She really does a good job in getting her points across. And I wanted to share this particular clip because I thought it was an interesting take. But I want to know if you agree with what she's saying or do you disagree? I want to hear your thoughts on it. Shout out to her. We're going to get right into the video. But before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you like the content. Share and like the video and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. All right. So make sure you are chiming in. I want to hear your thoughts on this particular video. Let's go ahead and get into it. Here we go.
Black women are the dumbest group in America. They're literally train crash outs. All of their ideology is backwards, and everything that they believe in is dysfunctional. These are the defenders of the dysfunction and the chaos. They encourage it. And you know that because look at Texie Red. They allow her to sell booty hole brown and gonorrhea lip glosses. Disgusting. And then they get all these degrees to still come out broke, alone, and in debt. Not to mention they let the government convince them to destroy their children and to go against the very men that are put here to protect them. And this is why they fall for every scam that the government push. Feminism, birth control. They even fail for the scam that they're the smartest group in America. You are not the most educated. You are the most indoctrinated. Congratulations. And you talk so much about your degrees, and Black men still make more money than you and raise better children than you. Amazing. And you know what? The solution is just very simple. Bow out and let Black men lead.
Listen, what do you guys think about what she had to say? Listen, I know it may sound harsh to some, but there were no lies detected. You can't go against the truth. Even if it's harsh to accept, even if it's something that you don't want to hear, you can't deny that what she's saying is the truth. There's no lies detected. She's absolutely right. Now, look, I know there's a lot of pushback when it comes to hearing this type of rhetoric because in our community, a lot of Black women are in denial. They don't want to hear this type of talk. They think it's bashing. They think, oh, you're just coming against Black women. You hate Black women. No, the people who sit there and tell you lies and feed what you want to hear are the ones I would say who don't really care too much for you, because they will allow you to, believe certain things that just aren't true. They will allow you and accept everything that you say and do, even if it's toxic, even if it's not good for your own interests or your kids' interests or your future. People will sit back here and feed you the information because it's cute and you're going to accept it and you like it. But it doesn't mean that it's what's beneficial and helpful to you, the community, and your futures. And so I think when we hear women, other women, or anybody who comes out and tell you the truth about your nature and what you're doing, they don't like it. Of course you don't like it because you want to accept the indoctrination. You want to accept the ratchet side of the culture because it's fun to you. And that's something that you don't have to think about. You don't have to make any changes. You can just continue to be who you are, no matter how ratchet it is, and just continue to flow that way. But then as life continues to show up and take that turn that you're not prepared for, then you want to complain and wonder what happened and how you went wrong. But when people are trying to tell you that this is not a good look, this is not something you should be emulating or perpetuating, oh, they get mad. Oh my God. And miss me with the whole idea of how somebody says something, because you may think that what she said was harsh, but even when you come with this most peaceful, calm demeanor, they still don't want to hear that. You still don't want to hear anything, no matter how nice it sounds. So it's not about the delivery. It's just the fact that a lot of our women, unfortunately, don't want to hear the truth whatsoever. You want to continue this whole, hookup culture type, do what I want, empowered culture. Oh, just do whatever you want, no matter how demeaning it is, no matter how over sexualized it is, no matter how it's going to affect your community and you in the most worst way, not prioritizing marriage and families and the complete family with a husband and a wife and the kids and building on that. No, that's too boring. That is not what's acceptable. That's not what y'all want to do. Y'all want to be able to twerk on tables with your BBLs and go around dressing like hookers and whores and think that is the way that you should live your life. And that's what you're perpetuating to your children. that they don't need a man, these broken homes, but y'all go out, live your life, have your fun, get a BBL, girl, get a bust down 613 wig, and now you that girl, you that girl, and all this type of stuff. And it's this whorish, lifestyle, hookup culture. This is what they're perpetuating. This is what they think is it. And the minute somebody say, oh no, that is not it. That is degrading. That is not what you should be doing as Black women. Black women should have more respect for themselves. You should carry yourself in a much more respectable way. Somehow that's pushback. The things that would be more beneficial for you are the things that they don't want to do. You want to dwell in this whole hookup, whorish culture as if that's something to be proud of. And then a lot of these women have daughters that they're raising, and you're raising sons too. What are you saying about how a man should treat a woman if you going out like that? What are you saying to your daughters about respecting themselves and holding themselves in a high regard if you are teaching them how to be 304s? But then y'all want the most respect and complain about men respecting you, but you don't have respect for yourselves. You got to have respect for yourself first if you want others to do the same. And you can't keep using the same old rhetoric. Oh, well, no matter how you dress, if you dress like a nun, they still gonna know No, that's not the truth. That's just an excuse that y'all want to use to keep perpetuating the nonsense. So yeah, talking to you like, all sweet and soft is not going to work because y'all not even used to that. Y'all are not sweet and soft. Y'all are masculine, aggressive, loud. So we got to meet you on your level. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so I just think, when we see young women, men, whoever speaking out on these issues to try to correct it, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think there's too much of this hookup foolishness. There's too much indoctrination. There's too much of the foolishness that's going around, and all of that is being pushed to the forefront. I said it before. We need to change the narrative. We need to promote more healthier lifestyles, more healthier relationships between men and women. Stop thinking that, just because you get to the bag, you don't need it. That is foolishness. It really is. And it's hurting our communities. Most other communities have their issues as well, but they're not pushed to the forefront like we are. We are at the center of the foolishness. If you look in the dictionary and say ratchetity, I'm pretty sure there'll be a Black person, a Black woman twerking. And don't forget that statue that they had up there of that working woman, Black woman, big as hell, standing up there looking a hot mess. You're like, come on, y'all get offended by that kind of stuff, but you don't want to change your behavior, the narrative, what's being put out there about Black people and what other people think. You don't care. But then when you're not treated the way you think that you should be treated, like a queen and a princess, now you're mad. I don't understand it for the life of me. So, I just think once again, we need to do better as a whole. We can only give information to try to, and it's not about being perfect or anything, but it's about being mindful and acknowledging your flaws and your faults and the things that you're doing that is not really helping. All of this hookup, promiscuous culture, going out here acting a fool, twerking all over, is not really a beneficial factor to anyone. None of that gets you to a better place in life. None of that helps you to grow and become better for your children. None of that is necessary. It's really not. But we got to get to a place to where you got to stop thinking that when people tell you something about yourself that is bashing, as opposed to just looking at it and saying, you know what, maybe I could do better. Maybe I could change some things, because it won't hurt. Because the things that they are doing out here is very hurtful and not yielding any positive results. They say Black people are at the bottom. Do you want to always consider to be at the bottom of everyone else? Looked at as the worst, but then you complain about being looked at as the worst and people don't value you or look at you in any regard, but you also got to look at how you've contributed to that as well yourself, and change the narrative so they won't have ways to say, Black people are at the bottom, the least married, the least desirable, and all these things. That's crazy, but you have to take some accountability as well. Everybody is not just bashing and hating on you. You got to look at what you're presenting and what you're putting out there, what your focus is, what you're perpetuating. And a lot of the stuff that we see in our Black community is not great highlights. So yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better. You know, shout out to Carmen. I appreciate her content. You guys go follow her on Instagram. Chime in. I definitely want to hear what you have to say. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Turn on that notification bell, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.